Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us for this very exciting live bake-along. We're two members of the Meringue Girls, an all-girl baking brand based here in Hackney.
I'm Alex and this is Rosie, and we're working with Dr. Oetker and Rebake to bring you one of 4 recipes.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So today we're going to be making a chocolate shortbread letter cake, which you should see on your screens right now. It's pretty epic, an absolute showstopper of a dessert. So I hope you've got all your ingredients weighed out and ready to go. We've got our oven preheated to 180 degrees and 2 pans of simmering water ready for our bain-maries.
Yeah.
We've got our mixer fitted with a paddle attachment. And I think that's pretty much everything, right?
That's it. Remember, as this is live, you can pause and rewind at any time, so hopefully you're baking along with us. But if you're going to do it at a later date, you know how to do it.
Yes, and if you have any questions or comments, please ask us them now and we can answer them live. So, should we get going? Fab.
Cool.
We're starting with
just some butter and some sugar, which we're going to make with our shortbread. So we're just going to incorporate that in our KitchenAid mixer. Just till it's mixed. We're not trying to add too much air, just getting it all together.
perfect. Yeah, so with the shortbread, you want to make sure that it's just mixed. So we don't need it like light and fluffy or anything. Fab. While that's going, I'm going to mix together our dry ingredients. So I've got my cocoa powder, Dr. Oetker cocoa powder. It's nice and rich and chocolatey. And our flour. Just pop that in the bowl.
Lovely.
And our salt, all crucial.
Thank you.
And I'm just whisking these together until it's nice and incorporated. We don't want any sneaky pockets of flour or cocoa powder in there. So just keep going until it's all nice and mixed together. It's looking good.
Great. So I'm going to add that to our creamed butter.
Great. For anyone who's just joined us, we're just kicking off with our shortbread mix. So all the ingredients are going into the mixer now, and that's going to form our dough. So when we're mixing this together, we just want to make sure it gets to sort of a wet sand consistency. We don't want it to actually form the dough in the bowl.
Yeah.
We can do that on our surface.
Not going to forget my 3 teaspoons of vanilla.
Yes, this Dr. Oetker vanilla extract is delicious. It's super, super flavoursome. Oh, that's hot. So we're popping 3 teaspoons. Whoops!
That's live for you.
Love.
Bloody
Okay,
hell.
pop that in. We'll just scrape up this extra butter. It's all very clean. Not to worry. Okay, so let's pop that on a slow speed so that nothing squirts out of the mixer.
Normally I'm doing this towards me. It's like the
Yeah.
angle.
That's alright. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in our rolling pin and everything we need to make our chocolate shortbread rings.
Lovely.
So on your instructions at home, we've asked you to get a dinner plate and a smaller plate to make your actual ring for the cake. We've opted for a bowl and a smaller bowl. And this is just because we tried a few things out and we think this gives you the best ring shape. And more importantly, it's kind of a thicker ring, so you get more shortbread in your dessert, which is, you know, what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So find whatever you have at home that gives you a nice shape, and you're going to use these later to cut out your ring. That's looking good, Al.
Yeah, so it's just been brought together. You really don't want to overwork it. It is shortbread and it should be that kind of melt in the mouth consistency. So we are just going to bring it just together like this.
Great. Now, we're going to roll out our dough.
Yes.
And a really good way to do this is to have 2 pieces of parchment paper, and then you can roll the dough out in between them, and it helps it not stick to your surface.
Yes.
Do you want a spatula? Let's get the rest of this out.
All right. So I'm just going to bring it together nice and easy with my hands and then make 3 balls so that we can make our 3 rings with them.
There you go.
Okay. Perfect. That smells delicious already.
It does. Extremely chocolatey.
Yeah.
Smelling great. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to roll out my first in between 2 pieces of baking paper.
Great. And so yeah, as I said, this is really good technique for just not getting the dough to stick to the surface. You can make sure it's all of even thickness.
Yeah, you're looking to get about a pound coin thickness.
Yeah. So you don't want it too thin, too thick, but another really good way to know that you've got it to the right thickness is to take your bowl, whatever you're going to cut out round later, and pretty much you just want it like a centimetre wider than the bowl, and that should be fine. You also want to make sure that this will fit onto your baking tray. It's pretty important because it's going to go in the oven any minute now.
Yes.
That one's looking good, Al. Nearly the
there.
right size.
Yep. Just going to check it's big
Great.
enough. Is that good? Yeah.
It's looking great.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so you just peel off this top layer and you just use a knife to cut around your bowl.
Lovely.
The chocolate, the letter cake recipes are really on trend right now. So we're doing a kind of because we're working with Dr. Oetker. But if you've got a special occasion coming up, you can make numbers, letters, initials.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if you have any questions during this bake long, please send them in and we can answer them live on air. If you're just joining us, we've made our dough. Welcome. And we're just cutting around our ring now to get it ready onto the trays before they go in the oven. So this first one's looking nearly ready.
Yes.
Now, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of excess dough here, but that's only a good thing. So you can peel off all the excess, roll it into a ball, and we can keep that in the fridge for 3 to 5 days or in the freezer for up to a year.
Yeah, perfect for a rainy day.
Perfect, yeah. You can just roll out the dough and make little biscuits, and that's only a good thing.
Yeah.
Delish. Okay, so you just have to pick out the inner ring.
Yeah, it's a little bit fiddly.
It's a bit fiddly, but it's all right.
There we go.
Fab.
So if you are deciding to do a different letter, we found a really easy way is just to print out on your home printer and cut around that as a template.
Yeah, so we'll whack this onto the first tray.
Lovely.
Looking good.
Get my next one ready.
There you go. Do you want to put it on there?
Yep. Thank you, Rosie.
That's alright.
Has any questions come in yet?
Let's have a look. Oh, this one's good. What kind of training do you need as a baker? Well,
We don't really need any. It's all about
No.
practice, practice, practice.
all about practice.
Yeah.
I didn't train. Alex did.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's all about learning. I actually learned on the job at Maracas, which was a fabulous way to learn. It's done me a whole world of good.
Thank you.
You did an amazing course.
Yeah, I did a year's chef's course, but it is just literally about learning on the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, someone's asked here how we find inspiration for new ideas.
I mean, I'm an Instagram fiend, so it's just constant
Instagram.
scrolling, saving,
Literally.
stalking.
We find pretty much all those inspiration on Instagram.
Yeah.
And from other bakers like Catherine Sabbath, she's an incredible baker. Love what she does. Get loads of ideas from the community, different learner bakers.
And We Bake have heaps of options as well.
Absolutely,
If you're never
yeah.
short of inspo.
And actually, I don't know whether you guys know, but you could be within a chance of winning your very own KitchenAid mixer like ours here by just sharing a picture of your bake. So, once you've finished your bake, whether it's today or later on, take a snap, send it in, and you could be within a chance of winning a KitchenAid,
Ooh,
which
what
is
colour? What
hugely
colour?
exciting. I don't know what I go for. Maybe like classic Dr. O teal or pink. I don't know. But it's very exciting. That one's looking good. I've still got quite a lot of butter on me, so I'm just going to wipe that off. We've had another question come in. Yeah, what's your favourite part of this recipe?
The decorating. The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come.
This is topped with all the goodness. So we've got Swiss meringue buttercream, we've got chocolate dipped strawberries,
Yeah,
chocolate shards, meringue gem kisses.
Yeah.
It's really
It's all going off.
all going on.
Okay,
Alright, scrape this away.
that's good. So Al,
Yeah.
what's your favourite, oh my god, your favourite restaurant to eat in London?
Oh, I'm such a foodie. That's such a hard question.
I know.
I mean, we're living in East London and there's heaps of goodness around
There's
here.
so much going on.
But I'm a dim sum fiend, as you know. So
Yes.
there's a little restaurant called My Neighbourhood Dumplings, which is really local to me. So
That's a great one.
I get my soy sauce kit there.
Amazing. I think I'm a huge Italian food fan. My favourite restaurant I'd say is Lardo, again, around the corner. It's an absolute ton of a restaurant. Let's pop that one in here.
Yeah.
Great, so we're moving on to our last ring for the chocolate shortbread cake. And again, as I said, any scraps you have left over, don't throw them away. Keep them for a rainy day, put them in the fridge or the freezer, and they'll be just as good to use another time.
And remember, if you're baking along live and we're going too quickly for you, just hit pause and rewind and just pick up where you left off.
Great. Still that one. So, a few more questions have popped in now while you've been rolling. Next one is, what's your favourite Dr. Oetker product?
It's a hard one. I mean, I'm really into their cooking chocolate because it's just really good for melting and baking. You know, it's just kind of fail-proof.
Absolutely, and I love the cocoa powder as well. It's super rich, nice and chocolatey, amazing colour.
I'm actually loving their rebrand. The packaging is looking good right now.
Yeah, very chic. Okay. Yeah, definitely. So, if you've just joined us, welcome. Thank you for watching this live bake along. We're almost done with our shortbread mix. Alex is just rolling out the last ring for our shortbread letter cake. Now, if you don't have so much time at home, you can shorten this recipe by making less layers to your cake. So you can totally do it with 2 rings. We've opted for 3 because this is the ultimate showstopper and we want it to look gorgeous. But you can totally do it with 2 if you don't have so much time.
Yeah.
That's our last ring, nearly ready for the oven.
Yeah. Super fun to get the kids involved in this kind of stuff as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got 2 bubbas, haven't you, Anne?
I've got 2 little bubbas.
2 little babies.
12-week-old bubba.
Oh! And what about Indy, your daughter? Does she like baking?
She's obsessed. She's like, I want to be Miranda.
No, so sweet. I mean, I totally developed my love for baking when I was a kid. Like, it's probably one of the first things I ever did with family, relatives, like making crumble with my grandma.
Was it your gran? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like, I grew up in the countryside, so baking was literally one of the only things I could do. There were no buses, could not go to the cinema. So baking was like the perfect activity at home.
My dad decided to start me off with sugar syrup and sugar
What?
work. I mean,
That's
like,
insane.
We always got it wrong. It always burned. We were always trying to kind of wiggle the sugar over the rolling pin, and it was just like
That's mental.
Danger.
I don't think I made a sugar syrup till I was like
Danger
20. Yeah.
Go on, Dad.
Yeah, nice work. Okay, that's looking pretty special.
Okay,
Let's
add that. That's
pop
our
that
third layer
onto the tray.
So as Rosie said, let's just pop this in some cling film, pop it in your freezer, and just put it out on a rainy day. You can make shapes, anything you want.
Great, so this is going into the oven at 180 degrees. I'm going to put both trays in. And then I'm just going to set a timer for 15 minutes, because that's how long this one bakes for. So let's pop that on. Great. Now, the next thing we move on to is our Swiss meringue buttercream. And to do that, we need to make Swiss meringue first. So I'm just grabbing my egg whites and my sugar and popping them into this bowl that's over a bain-marie. And then, Al, do you mind passing me the whisk?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. So yeah, as I said, this is a Swiss meringue buttercream. There's loads of different types of meringue. You've got the French method, which is cold sugar into egg white. There's the Italian method, which uses a sugar syrup. And this is the Swiss method. So you're literally just whisking together the egg whites and the sugar until all the sugar has dissolved. It needs to be quite hot to the touch. So make sure you've got it to the right heat. It needs to be hot, not warm. And keep your egg whites moving at all times. We don't want any scrambled eggs in our buttercream.
No.
It's not what we're going for.
But this is a lovely, stable method of making a meringue because
Absolutely.
it's heating at the same time. Meringue girls, for our meringue kisses, which are these kind of things, we've developed our own little kind of hybrid recipe where we heat the sugar in the oven till it's hot. But we might show you that on a later video.
Yeah, potentially. It's a really good method. But for this, we're making a Swiss meringue buttercream. And the reason we're doing that is because it's super delicious.
Yeah.
It's a bit lighter than normal buttercream. It's not as sweet as normal buttercream.
Yeah.
And it's super impressive. It looks really glossy, which is perfect for a showstopper.
Yeah, and we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. We're making meringue to pipe our chocolate meringue gems, but also making the Swiss meringue buttercream. So we're doing 2 in 1, which is
So we should probably get our bowl in our mixer ready for the meringue with the whisk attachment. Because as soon as this reaches temperature, we're going to put it into the stand mixer on a high speed until we reach stiff peaks. Don't forget, you could win your very own KitchenAid.
Yeah.
There's a competition running by We Bake and Dr. Oetker. You just need to send in a picture of your bake. Please do. We'd love to see them, won't we, Al?
Yep.
Very exciting. Do we have any questions from the viewers?
They're all coming in.
Let's have a little look.
Okay. What is a bain-marie? Simple question.
Well, this is a bain-marie.
Yeah.
So I've got a pan of simmering water and a glass bowl on top. And it's basically a glorified microwave without electricity. I mean, we have electricity, but if you don't have a microwave well, you can't really do this in the microwave actually, so it's not the same. But this is specifically because I can stir whilst heating up It's a really good way to do that.
Yeah. And so another question's come in, so what can I do to increase the stability of my egg? And that's an easy one, just adding a little bit of cream of tartar.
Yes, definitely. And if you don't have time to make meringue at home, you can always use Dr. Oetker egg white powder. That's a similar method. You just add water to the egg white powder and then whisk up with the sugar. And with that one, you don't lose any egg yolks. You're not wasting any egg yolks. So you can do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And someone's asking, what do you guys do when you're not baking?
Oh, God. I mean, eat. Pretty obsessed with food. That's pretty much, I like to go out to eat.
Eating food.
Talking about food, like go to the theatre, go to the cinema, but it's always, bookended with a great meal, I'd say.
No, two brothers, business, baking. That's pretty much.
Yeah, you've
all I
got
can
a
handle
lot
right
going
now.
on, haven't you? Yeah. Let's see if this has reached temperature. This is getting there. It's not quite hot enough, but it's getting warm. It's definitely getting there. I think the sugar's now dissolved, and you can kind of feel that between your fingers if you dip your finger into the liquid. But be careful not to burn yourself. Okay, it's looking good.
Questions coming right in. Okay, so what do you have any baking secrets?
Oh God. Well, I think meringue is something that people struggle with and maybe think it's harder than it is. And I've learned over the last 5 years of Meringue Girls that it's not that hard at all. So my baking secret is probably the Meringue Girls meringue method.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we're not too secret about, are we?
No.
What's yours?
Oh, I don't know. Baking secret. I don't know. I love making choux. Everyone thinks choux hard, but
Yeah, I think choux is really hard.
I just love it. I don't know.
What's the key, do you think, to a great choux?
The key to a great choux is shooting the flour in really quickly and stirring until it just comes off the edge of the bowl, and then you don't get cracked choux.
I never knew that. I've tried and failed several times to make choux pastry, so that's impressive.
Okay, question from Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks
your-
for tuning in.
Yeah. What's your absolute favourite thing to bake, aside from what you're baking now?
Okay.
What do you like to eat?
What do I like to eat?
What's your favourite flavour cake?
Tricky. My favourite cake, I would say my favourite cake is a classic Victoria sponge.
Yeah.
You just can't go wrong with a really good jam, some delicious whipped cream, and like the perfect Vicky sponge. It's ideal.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Mine's carrot.
Carrot. Oh, can I change my answer?
No.
Carrot cake is great. They're all good.
Yeah. We've got, and actually another secret that I've got is my favourite carrot cake recipe. Instead of just grating the carrot in, you cook the carrot and you boil it down.
Oh wow.
And then you mush it up and then you add it to
That
your
sounds
mixture,
amazing.
And it just makes the most.
Do you add
delicious-
grated carrot as well, or
No.
just the mush?
No, that would be extra, but yeah, maybe let's try that.
That sounds amazing. You'll have to make me one day. Okay.
That looks
I
good.
think this is coming up. Yeah, I'd say this is hot enough. So it's just hot enough for me to be able to dip my finger in, but getting there to a burning. You don't want it any hotter, basically. So that's looking good, and we're going to whack it straight into the mixer. Be careful when you take your bowl off the bain-marie because it will be hot. It's been sitting over boiling water. And then just pour the whole mixture into the bowl.
Okay. I'm going to try not to do what I did at the beginning.
Yes, let's pop the lid
Let's
down.
pop that down and turn it on slowly.
And then we want to get it onto the highest speed possible because what we're looking to do here is to create stiff peaks. That's what we want. So I'm done with this can of water. I'm just going to take it off the heat. Fab.
Okay, so that's going to get up to stiff peaks in about 7 to 10 minutes, and we'll show you the stages of when you know that that is at its best.
Yes.
Start piping on meringue germs.
But while that's happening, we're going to crack on with our chocolate shards.
Yeah.
It's the perfect moment to get on with any stuff that you can save time on. It's going to be a decoration later. And today we're going to be doing chocolate shards.
Okay.
So let's get rid of the old iPad.
It's going to get sticky. Okay.
So the first thing we're going to do is melt our dark chocolate. Let's just pop that straight in there. And then, yeah, I'm going to maybe get that pan back for our white chocolate. So we're making a dark chocolate shard. We're going to swirl through white chocolate to make a really beautiful pattern. But you can use any chocolate, right? It doesn't really matter. You can add a sprinkle. It's totally up to you.
Freeze-dried raspberries.
Yeah, whatever you feel like. And we're using Dr. Oetker's chocolate here, which is developed especially for baking. So it melts down really nicely. It's super glossy when it's set. is just perfect for anything
Yeah,
like
you
this.
hardly need to temper it, and it's just so extra to make your own decoration. So
It's extra.
It's very easy, but it's that extra impressive.
Yeah, so impressive. I mean, I didn't even know I could do this. Like, I'd see it in chocolate shops and just think that's something I'll never be able to achieve at home. But it is something you can achieve at home. Yeah.
So I've got baking paper here. This is what we're going to spread our melted dark chocolate onto, and then we're going to dot sprinkles of the white and stir it through with a cocktail stick, and then it's in the fridge.
And we've got some strawberries here, which we're going to dip in the excess white chocolate, and those can be used later for decoration. So that's great.
So if you're just joining us now, we've got the shortbread rings in the oven. We've got the timer on, we'll know when they're ready in about 10 minutes. We've got our Swiss meringue whisking up, and our chocolate melting for our shards.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on, but listen, if you've missed anything or you've joined us a little bit later, then you can pause, rewind, or re-watch this video anytime you like on the Dr. Oetker Facebook page. Okay, this is looking good.
That
It's
is looking
almost there.
shiny and lovely and gorgeous.
Shiny, so good.
I'm going to stir some white.
Lovely. Looking fab. Any more questions coming?
Yeah. Any tips for cooking with kids, said Sean.
I mean, that's a good question for you, Al. What would you say?
I mean, I
I've done
just
a lot
love to
for
get them
kids.
involved in everything. Cookies, cupcakes, I mean, Indy just loves baking everything.
Would you say preparing ahead of time is a good trick? So that
Having things measured out. I mean, the attention span, let's say, is pretty short. So have things
Yeah.
all measured out. And
measure that while they're napping, maybe.
Yeah, and don't mind getting your kitchen messy.
Pretty messy. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, I'd say that baking with anyone, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. All right, this is nearly melted, so I'm just making sure there's no lumps left in the chocolate. And you want to keep it moving, so you don't want this to burn on the bottom of the bowl at all. Okay, nearly there. Just give it a last sweep around the bowl, looking good. And again, just be careful you don't burn your hand on this bowl, because it might be a touch warm. Okay, so for your chocolate shard, I'm just going to pour all of the dark chocolate into the centre of my tray. And then I have an offset palette knife, and I'm just going to smooth it out to the right thickness. So with a shard, I'd say you don't want it too thin,
no.
right? Because if it's too thin, it might be difficult to handle once it's set. It might melt within your fingers, or crack, or break, or something.
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure it's a good thickness. You don't want it too thick, because then it might take too much space or whatever. So I'm just going to eyeball it, I reckon. This is nearly...
My white chocolate's really done.
Oh, fabulous.
I'm going to dip
Great.
some straw.
Yeah, great. Okay. This is looking good. Yum. One of my favourite things of all time. Chocolate strawberries. Like, simple but delish. Right, whilst I was doing that, I'm just going to take a spoon of this white chocolate. Okay, and you just need to literally drizzle it over the top of the dark chocolate. You don't need to be too neat or careful with
Jackson
this.
Pollock it up. Get
Jackson
creative.
Pollock it up, man. That's looking great. And then I have a cocktail stick here that I'm just going to swirl the two together with so that it's nice and patterned. But again, do whatever you want. There's no right or wrong answers here. Wow, so good.
Wow. So impressive.
I'm done. I'm happy with that. Let's dip all those strawberries. Now this is going to go in the fridge to set, and after 5 minutes I'm going to whip it out of the fridge and just score some lines onto the chocolate so that when we come to actually cutting the shards it's easier and it won't shatter and break into tiny little
It will just make it really easy to shatter.
Yeah.
Like smooth shot.
smooth shards. So this is going in the fridge now. I'm just going to pop it in.
Gorgeous. And this is getting there. This is definitely not at stiff peaks yet, but I can see. I'm going to just show you where we're at. We are at kind of ribbon stage, so it is still not standing up on the whisk, but it's just ribboning off. So we need to go that for about 3 more minutes. So,
Great, yeah. You want it pretty stiff, because with meringue we're going to be piping kisses and you don't want them to sort of like collapse and puddle. You want them to hold their shape. So we can get rid of these bowls, we're done with that. And then I'm just getting out ready my piping bag. I'm going to turn that one off. Great. Yes, so here I've got one piping bag fitted with a star nozzle, which is going to be used for our gems.
And that's called a gem nozzle, right?
Gem, yeah, people have different names for this. I don't know. It's called a Gem 4S. I think it should be written in your equipment list. But you can use any nozzle you like. So you can use a wider star nozzle, a straight nozzle. We've chosen this because it gives it really nice edges.
And you don't need a piping bag. If you haven't got one, you can just use a Ziploc bag.
Absolutely, done that a million times. And then our other one is going to be for our buttercream, which we don't need just yet. So pop that off to one side. Great, let's have a look. Have you got any more questions from the viewers?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Question from Sophie. Hi Sophie. What can I do if I don't have a stand mixer? How will I do it?
Well, it's fine. You can do it with a hand mixer, an electric hand mixer. It's just gonna take a bit more effort basically.
Yeah.
So with the meringue, you're gonna be there for quite a while, and you just have to put a little bit of elbow grease, but it'll still be delicious.
But
You can
remember,
still make it.
enter your picture into this and you can win your own.
Yes, if you don't have a stand mixer, all the more reason to enter the competition, and you might just win one, which is hugely exciting.
When you're making the meringue, can you change the sugar to a sweetener or a candle?
I have never tried that.
No.
I would hazard a guess that it might not work as well.
It doesn't work as well. You often get a kind of spongy texture. I don't know what it is about the actual real sugar, but it gives it that stability. But we have tried vegan meringues, and that works amazingly.
Yeah, you use aquafaba, which is essentially the water from kind of chickpeas. So if you have any chickpeas in the house and you're using them, save the water, and you can experiment with making vegan meringue.
Yeah, with just like egg whites, it's quite a magical thing.
Yeah, it's really impressive actually. It's amazing. That's looking like it's coming closer and closer.
Yeah, just maybe 1 more minute for that.
Perfect.
What is the most creative cake you've ever made for Daisy?
Oh God.
Any
don't
epic
know.
birthday cakes or showstoppers? I made my mum's 60th cake and that was a big deal.
What was it?
I put a lot of effort into that.
What was the cake?
It was 3 tiers, there was a cake topper,
Wow.
there was all the edible
Oh,
toppers.
that's our timer. So that means the shortbread is done. So I'm just gonna have a little look at it. Smells incredible.
Smells really chocolatey.
Yum. So now you might notice that this pretty much looks like it did when it went in the oven. Because it's a chocolate shortbread, it is slightly harder to know if it's cooked. But my tip would be to set a timer and then just have a little feel of the shortbread once it's come out. It might feel a little soft to the touch, but don't worry, this is going to harden up on the tray as it cools down.
So you can tell it's feeling kind of sandy and dry, but if you did press it, there would be an indent, but that's not to worry.
Yeah, so I'm going to put these up to cool now, and then once they're completely cooled, we'll assemble them, obviously. So I'll just pop them on a wire rack. Watch out, babe.
I think the meringue's done, which is great. Try it.
Fabulous news. Great. So how can we tell if it's ready, Al?
Well, we are looking for stiff peaks.
Yeah.
And if you don't know
What does that look like?
Well, let's just have a look. You give the whisk a little stir around the bowl, and then you're just looking for that gorgeous
Beautiful.
And
Absolutely
that's looking
beautiful.
brilliant to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a scoop of this out and put it into our piping bag to make our meringue gems. And the rest we're going to leave in the bowl and start adding our butter to make our Swiss meringue buttercream.
Yeah. So we're taking our piping bag that has the nozzle attached this time.
Just grab this big spoon.
Pop. You don't actually need that much, to be honest, because we're making very small gems so that they bake in time. And the rest we need for our buttercream, which is important. So
I'm going to get this back on in the meantime, just because
Yes.
it takes a little bit of time to make the buttercream.
right. I'm just going to stick down the corners of the tray, which is a good tip, because when you're piping the meringue, you don't want it to be flying around. So just a little dollop of meringue will stick down each corner of the greaseproof paper.
So I've got
Ready
the
to
pipe
pipe?
in here.
Do you want to pipe it?
Okay, let's switch.
There you go.
Alright, I'm going to move over here. So there's a few tips when piping. It's just keeping the top of the bag nice and taut and pushing with this hand with the pressure. And this one is just kind of guiding. So I'm just going to make small gems. The smaller you go, the quicker they bake, and we want to get things rolling with this recipe for lots of it. So I'm just going to hold it tight at the top, use my other hand to squeeze and push up. And this is going to make really lovely little peaky gems that are going to be the perfect decoration for the shortbread.
And you want to keep them quite small, don't you?
Yeah.
So they bake quicker. But if you've got more time on your hands, you can make bigger ones, then it's going to take longer to bake in the oven.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love
So beautiful. I know. Gorgeous. So while I was doing that, I'm just adding the butter slowly to our meringue mixture to make our Swiss meringue buttercream. So you want to add $1 and then wait for it to be completely incorporated before you add the next. So it's quite a slow process, but it's totally worth it in the end. Now don't be alarmed if your buttercream looks like it might have split or curdled. This is completely classic and normal. It will look like that towards the end, to be honest, but as soon as you've got all the butter in and it's been mixing for a bit longer,
It just turns into silky smooth.
it comes together, it's magical.
You've got to have faith.
It always happens. They look amazing. Now you might not need all of these gems for your stopper cake. You might only use a handful, but meringue keeps well for up to 2 weeks in just a normal like cake tin or any sort of box like that.
Yeah.
Don't keep it in the fridge.
No, and they actually like air to breathe. So don't airtight container them. They like just being out.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to chocolate these up with this gorgeous cocoa powder.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a bit of extra chocolate? If you're just joining us, welcome to this live bake-along with the Meringue Girls, Dr. Oetker and We Bake. We have just taken our shortbread out of the oven. It's currently cooling. We're making our Swiss meringue buttercream here, and Alex is just finishing off the chocolate meringue gems. So I'm just very slowly popping this butter in. They look amazing now. Now, be sure to turn your oven down. I didn't say this when I did it, but I turned my oven down to 100 degrees when I took the shortbread out of the oven. Now this is because meringue bakes at a much lower temperature.
Low and slow.
Low and slow. So if your oven hasn't come completely down to temperature at this point, you can leave the door open or just wait until it's down to 100 degrees. It's quite important.
Oh.
Should we put those in? Okay. Fab. Now, Alex, a question from Wendy has just come in.
When I make meringues, I have to keep it in an airtight container. If I leave it out at room temperature for longer than 10 minutes, it becomes sticky.
Ah, now that's interesting because I think that might be to do with humidity. We don't have that problem here, but it could be a number of reasons. What do you think?
Well, we've never found that. I mean, I wonder it'd be great to know where you're from, Wendy. If it is a humid place, and that is the reason. Or if you're adding flavourings, and potentially that's the reason why they are sticky on the outside.
It could be the food colouring. Maybe if there's too much food colouring, it might get a little bit sticky. But that shouldn't happen. So let us know a bit more info. We can maybe work out why that's happening.
Okay. Wendy is from London.
Wendy's from London? I don't know, babe. I'm not sure.
The way we do it here is we store them on big trays, just with the air.
Yeah, sometimes we actually store them in the oven when the oven's turned off, and that's in this perfect environment. But maybe experiment.
I just find if they're airtight, they start to sweat, and then over a few days they become really soft. So we've got the opposite. Okay.
Should we whip out our shards from the fridge and do our scoring? So you don't want the shards to be completely set before you do the scoring. You want them kind of just squashy enough to run a knife through. I've got about half my butter in now, so I'm just slowly adding this butter to the buttercream, and it is starting to look like it's split. So again, don't worry if that happens, it's completely normal. Right. How's it looking?
It's looking good. It's setting super quickly, which is great.
Fab.
And why don't you
I'll do that. Let's switch. Great. So I found the best way to cut these shards is to almost cut columns first. So I'll start with a long line down to the bottom. Now the chocolate's not completely set. It's nice and soft still, so it's not taking too much effort to run the knife through it. And then I'll do another one. And you're always making like a checkerboard on the shard. So after I've done these vertical lines, I'm going to do some horizontal ones. And then with the squares that you make, we're going to almost draw a line through the diagonal to make 2 triangles. And that is going to make up your chocolate shards. So it's good to have a little base on your shard that you can stick it into the buttercream with so it doesn't flop over. And a nice pointy edge that can stick out at the top, which looks really amazing. So I'm just making sure I've got all the chocolate into nice shard shapes. Now again, if you don't use all of these shards on your showstopper, they can keep in the fridge for ages. It's just like any other chocolate, so you can keep them, use them another day, have them as a light snack, I mean whatever you fancy. That's looking great, I think they're all done. So I'm going to pop these back in the fridge now to completely set, which shouldn't take too long at all.
So this is hitting a really nice ratio now of having enough butter in there, so it's just coming together and becoming really smooth and unctuous, and I can see what it's going to be like now.
Right. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
So while Alex is getting that together, I'm going to assemble all of our equipment and decorations for assembly, because that is the next job to do. We've got our buttercream nearly finished, our shortbread's cooling, our meringue is finishing off in the oven, and the shards are just setting. So now's the time to get our decorations ready.
I'm going to get ready with my piping bag for my
For the buttercream, we'll get rid of these things. Now we have this lovely marble, what would you call this?
platter.
A marble platter to assemble our cake on. But you could use a cake stand, a board, whatever you fancy. And if you're saving it for later, then make sure it's on something beautiful, because you don't want to be moving it when you're ready to eat it, because it's pretty delicate. So here I've got some delicious berries that I'm going to use to decorate. I've got some edible flowers. These can be found in most supermarkets now, which is incredible. I didn't realise supermarkets stocked them. But apparently they're found in the salad section, so keep your eye out. If not, there's loads of people who do them online. You can get next day delivery. It's way easier than it used to be. And then I've also got some gold leaf here, which is not necessary. Don't worry if you don't have it at home, but it just adds that extra level of glitter and bling. So we're ready for our chocolate shortbread rings. I'm going to get those out now.
Yeah.
You're just filling the piping bag.
Yeah, and I'm not going to use a tip in this. I'm just going to cut off the bottom of the bag to about the size of a 20 piece.
Now, when you're assembling, you kind of want to make sure you've got your most gorgeous looking ring on top. So if you have any that are a little bit lumpy or not looking as fabulous, use those for the bottom 2 layers. And we just want to stick down the first string with a little buttercream, don't we, Al? So we could do a couple of blobs on whatever platter you've chosen.
Uno momento. Okay, about 20p, I'd say that.
Yeah, looking great. So I'm going to put my ring about here.
Okie dokie. Just give it a little base.
Yeah, you don't need a lot, but it's just to secure it to your platter. So that's pretty perfect, and I'm just pressing it down. Great.
I mean, I would choose my least pretty one for the bottom.
Yeah,
going upwards.
definitely.
This one is kind of your practice ring with the buttercreaming. So if you're not the best piper, don't worry, this is going to give you enough time. So I'm going to do 3 blobs and continue that all the way around.
Yeah. Whoops.
And again, it's the same tips with piping. I'm keeping the pressure at the top of the bag and using this hand to guide.
Right. While you're doing that, Alex, we've had a question from Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
What other fruits can we use?
Well, anything that hasn't got too much moisture. So we're using
Yeah.
berries here because they're lovely and acidic, and they just have got their own encasing. But anything really wet might sulk out biscuit, so you just have to be wary of that.
But if you're eating it immediately after decoration, then I reckon it would be fine, to be honest.
Oh, totally.
Like mango, you could go tropical, have mango, pineapple, kiwi, anything you want to do, to be honest. And also you could make the shortbread a plain shortbread if you didn't want it to be chocolate, and then you could think about other flavour pairings that would go really nicely. But we thought that berries are really nice.
Yeah, you can make this recipe seasonal. You know, if we're going Christmassy, we can add some spicy flavours.
Definitely.
And we can add colouring.
Oh, next question from Tanya.
Yeah.
Have you started any plans for your Christmas bakes, and will you be doing any tutorials at Christmas?
Well, we have
Great question.
we have a Christmas Facebook Live video coming up.
Yeah.
Which is super exciting.
As we said, this is one of 4 Facebook Lives we're doing with Dr. Oetker and We Bake, so this is the first. October the 13th, we'll be doing a charity bake sale, and then there'll be a Halloween one and a Christmas one.
I'm really excited about the Halloween one.
I'm incredibly excited. So the answer is yes, we're planning. We're deep in planning. Great. And we've had, let me see, a question. Oh no, we've done that.
Rosie, will you add some raspberry pieces into this layer?
Yes, I will.
Basically, we just like adding some torn raspberries into each layer just to give it freshness, so it's not all so rich.
Yeah, and you can just literally tear it with your hands.
I'm gonna help you.
Or use like a whole raspberry, but I think the torn pieces is better because it's sort of, it doesn't affect the height. And we want our next layer to sit on the buttercream.
But again, we are adding moisture here, so we are going to eat this immediately.
Yeah, we are, for sure. Okay, I think we're ready for our second ring.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm going to check on our meringues, see how they're doing.
So you want to layer it up pretty accurately so we haven't got a wonky cake. There we go. And I'm just going to do the same thing again, 3 layers.
They need a touch longer.
Okay.
Looks great, and I'll carry on with this. So yeah, as I said, if you're planning on eating this immediately, then great. If not, I'd say you could definitely make it on the day and eat it within a couple of hours.
There's lots you can do in advance as well.
Loads you could do in advance,
So you could have made the shortbread a couple of days in advance, you can make the chars, you can
meringues.
the meringues, you could chocolate dip the berries a couple of days before.
Yeah.
So if you're having a big dinner party or a birthday, you can just have everything prepared and just knock it up last minute and everyone will think you're a G.
A hero, yeah. I mean, assembly is probably the quickest part, so if you have everything ready, then you can totally do this whilst your guests are like, enjoying a drink. And it'll be ready to devour. That looks nice.
Yeah.
They're piping down.
Well, I am a meringue girl.
You are.
Been
It's
doing
taken
it all
some
about.
time. I remember when I joined the Meringue Girls, my piping was hideous. Like, it was awful.
You've been with us for about 5 years though, Rose.
I have. It was like the most
quite a
fatalistic meeting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Meant to
I
be.
literally walked into the Meringue Girls Bakery 5 years ago, I didn't even know they existed. And I was looking for a job, just moved to London, I was like absolutely broke. And I was just essentially giving my CV to anyone that would take it. Walked in the door and Alex was like, oh yeah, someone quit today, do you want to start tomorrow? And I was like, yes, I will. And I've been here ever since.
You've just been incredible ever since.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, my piping was bad, so practice makes perfect, and I'm sure you'll be far quicker learners than I was.
Yeah.
But yours is looking fab. So we're almost ready for our final layer. I think I'm going to check on our chocolate shards and see if they've set.
Put the final one on.
Great. There we go.
Thank you. Oh, it's already looking amazing. And I mean, for the kind of skill involved and the effort involved, it really is a showstopper of a cake. Can be used for any occasion. I'm really looking forward to making like numbers. I think for Indy's next party, I'll do a big 5.
I mean, this is a real trend, I think, this year. Like shortbread layer cakes, letter cakes, shape cakes, number cakes. It's completely blown up. So
I mean, one of the biggest new bestsellers at Meringues has been the pavlova letter cakes. And that's just been amazing. We've been just basically making meringue into any shape we want, layering it up this kind of mille-feuille style. And it's taken off.
Absolutely. So we've had a new question here from Sally. Why meringues generally, and what got you into baking them?
I mean, I saw a gap in the market. I saw a gap. There's just many factors. I saw a gap in the market. I wanted to start up my own business and do my own thing. I was working in a kitchen before, and I just wanted, to be my own boss.
Yeah. A bit more buttercream in there, but
yes, please.
So you wanted to be your own boss. You saw a gap in the market. What else?
I loved making meringues,
Yeah.
and I'd found this kind of middle ground recipe, which I thought was the best recipe ever, and I wanted to share it with the world.
And did you invent it, or had you seen it done before? Did you see it written down? Like, how did that come about? A little bit more here.
It was just a lot of experimenting. It was all the methods that we talked about earlier, the heating the sugar in a fatty sugar syrup, all of these different ones, but I just thought, what about just heating the sugar in the oven to get that heat and adding it, and it worked a treat. And no one had ever really experimented with meringue and added flavour and added colour, so...
And it's actually super simple. Like, I always thought meringues needed cream of tartar, or like some people had lemon, or like, there's other ways to do it, but we literally just use egg white and sugar. So, yeah, that pretty much answers the question.
How many meringues have you ever made?
Oh, God. I do not know the number, but there was one week at the Meringue Girls that we did a job where we had to make 60,000 meringues in 1 week.
Oh.
So we did about 10,000 a day.
Still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It was intense. Like we had to, like the building, our bakery wasn't even big enough to contain the packaging. We had everyone coming into the bakery. My boyfriend mucked in. Sylvia's brother was here.
Oh my
it was a lot. So we're ready
Should
for
we go
final
off-piste and
decorating.
put cocoa powder over the top, or do you want to keep it light?
Yeah. No, I think that'd be great. Let's see
Yeah.
if we have
Alright.
any to
Yeah,
hand.
definitely.
But I think it would look really pretty to do that. Actually.
I think it might look really nice with a
Yeah.
bit of variation of the colour.
I mean, gorgeous. Absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous. And you could do this with like dehydrated raspberry powder.
yeah.
There's loads of things you could shake over the top. And also sprinkles. Dr. Oetker have an incredible range of sprinkles. So go wild when it comes to decorating. This is the moment.
Okay, so this is the going wild moment, my favourite bit.
Yes.
And there is no right or wrong way. You can add exactly what you want. But I always find that adding the biggest things first kind of gets you going. So I'm going to add strawberries. And do you want to just
Great.
do it together?
I'm going to get the meringues out the
Okay.
oven because we want them to cool down slightly before we put them on top of the cake, because they're so small, they're not going to be very hot, and they're baked at a really low temperature. So yeah, it'll be time
Okay.
by the time we're decorating.
So I've got
Whip
all
those
my
out.
berries. Love a bit of freshness.
go.
These shards look amazing, Rosie. And you see how the scoring is just really necessary because they just really help you snap.
Yeah,
when
they
you're coming
break
to it.
so evenly, which is amazing. Now these meringues are just done, and you can tell, there's a really good way to check if they're done. If you just lift one off the tray, it comes off clean, there's no meringue left on the tray, and then the base, if you tap it, your finger doesn't burst through the bottom of the meringue, so you know that that's done.
And we liked ours kind of mallowy in the middle. So
Yeah.
this is, so if you squished it, it would be really gooey and lovely and mallowy in the middle,
Yeah.
but hard shell.
Delicious. I might actually just start adding these. Be careful because the tray will be hot, but the meringues themselves you can touch, they're not boiling hot.
Fab. And we've
Looks
got our lovely
amazing.
opal flowers, which just make anything gorgeous.
Yeah. And there's no real rules to decorating here. You can literally add whatever you'd like wherever. Just making sure that it's laden with decorations, really. The more the better, I'd say.
No, I'm so excited to see who's been baking along and what your
Yes.
recipe is looking like. Please do upload your pictures to the WeBake, and remember
Definitely.
that you can win a KitchenAid mixer.
But more importantly, we'd love to see them.
Yeah.
So please share. We're very excited to see what you've made at home.
Tag us on Instagram too.
Yeah, let's see if we've got any more questions. Last questions before we finish. So here we have a question from Brittany. I'm baking
Great
along
name.
at home. Brittany, great name, strong name. How long have we got to enter our bakes into the competition? Well, the deadline is 1st of October, so that's like a week and 2 days, I think, if my maths is right. So upload them within the week, before the 1st of October, and you're golden.
Okay, talking of golden, shall we add some gold leaves?
Let's add them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So we could have got a paintbrush here. Now gold leaf, you've just got to be slightly careful with
All
because
right.
it can
I'm going to
stick to your
add it to
fingers.
this raspberry, and it's quite good if you've got a little bit of moisture already on the raspberry because it sticks.
Sticks real easily, and then you can kind of just squash it down with the paintbrush,
Gorgeous.
trying not to lose any of it. I did a little
Fiddly,
bit.
but worth it.
Fiddly, but so worth it. See if it sticks to this. Yes. But yeah, if you touch it, that's when you might lose a little bit. It sticks to your fingers like nothing else. Wow, it looks incredible.
Yeah, that
I
is.
might just add like 2 more meringues. I feel like we're lacking.
Okay.
But then I think this is done. Wow.
So there we have it.
There
Your
you have
epic chocolate shortbread latter cake.
Delicious. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and watching along with us on this live. It's been very exciting.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed it lots.
Our next one is on the
October the 13th, which will be a special charity bake sale where we'll be teaching you the ultimate bake sale bake.
So for that, if you'd like to write in the comments anything you'd like to see for that.
Yeah, we'd love to know what you would like to see us make next for a charity bake sale. So have a think, send us your messages.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for watching live. We'll see you on the 13th.
See you there.